I've been looking forward to this show for quite some time. A research column. The 33rd overall pick is one of the most tradable assets that the New York Jets have at their disposal. What's the history of it? What does it mean? What could the Jets do with it in 2026? We talk about all of it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
Oh my gosh, it's morphin' time! To me, talking New York Jets is my superpower. Boy Green Daily starts now. Wow! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily.
We're talking just football, man.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teamwork, Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you find your podcast. Thank you for joining us. If you're coming in on YouTube, please make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. If you guys would like to skip ahead, the article in the YouTube description is down below. And this may be a good show to have that up also while we're talking about the topic matter at hand here. It may help you follow along. I'll try to do some screenshots from the article to help you out. Long story short, here's what I did, folks. I've heard that this 33rd overall pick, which is the first pick of the second round, which the Jets have, is like one of the most tradable assets in the world. And I was curious, what does history say? Okay, it's really tradable, people say, but what's history say? How often has it been traded? What has been the trade compensation and things of that nature? And so I've been really excited for the show for a long time. My life, I don't get a lot of time to do research and stuff, unfortunately. I wish I had more time to do these kind of pieces. I do a lot of different jobs, and so it's difficult. So I'm glad that we're able to pull this off. But, folks, before I get into the nuts and bolts of this, and we're 9 days away from the draft, there's a lot of fun. I would like to ask for your prayers if I can. For my brother Brody. You see him here on the screen for people that are watching my show right now. There's me, there's my brother Brody. There to the right if you're watching, but to the left of me actually in the picture, and then my sister Haley. My brother Brody, he is in ICU right now with some significant health challenges, and I would appreciate any prayers that you guys have out there to share on my brother. And he's just a warm, big personality. I love Brody. For some of you guys met him here semi-recently when he called into the show. I love him. He's my brother. Man, he's just got a big, goofy smile and everything else. So we could really use your prayers right now. So if you can, please. Again, he's in ICU right now with significant health challenges, and that's all I can say at this point. But your prayers would very much be welcomed here from my brother. So I'd appreciate that. So if you can, thank you to those out in the audience. Yes. So I appreciate that for anyone out in the audience that can. In between all of that, that would just be really, I'd really appreciate it. All right, let's try to get some sports, some football, some everything. Let's try to do some of that right now. And I appreciate that Austrian sending a membership. Thank you. I appreciate it. Gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership here on the show. Thank you, Austrian. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That membership went to the big Labunsky 239. You're now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to Austrian. Austrian, that's 20 raffle tickets for you so far this month. So thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Let's add that to your raffle ticket total. You're still in second place in our contest. Thank you. Yeah, so if you guys could do that, I'd appreciate that in the audience. But yes, let's try to talk some football here. Let's have some fun, and let's get through this. We're always here for each other, and that's what's most important. So this is a column I've wanted to write for some time, and as we're getting ready here in April, I'm like, good Lord, I'm going to run out of time, and who knows when the Jets will or ever will have this 33rd overall pick again. So I wanted to do some research into it, see what the history is, and folks, so here's what we're going to go through together. So the NFL officially expanded to 32 teams ahead of the 2002 NFL draft. That's when the Houston Texans were founded. Technically, they were thought of a couple years prior to that, and all the branding and all the hoopla that went into it. But we started having 32 teams back in 2002. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the first pick of the second round has often been discussed as this super tradable asset. And I wanted to study that history. So between 2002 and 2025, there have been 24 NFL drafts. We're about to have a 25th NFL draft since that expansion here in 9 days. And the first pick of the second round has been traded 7 times. So one more time. There have been 24 NFL drafts from 2002 to 2025. The first pick of the second round has been traded 7 times, including 3 of the last 4 years. So nearly half of those trades have occurred recently here. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to throw up the trade and the history and explain anything I can from it. And then I'll tell you some of the takeaways I had from this exercise. So let's throw this one up. This was the first trade that involved the first pick of the second round. It happened back in 2004. The then Oakland Raiders traded, well, yeah, let me put it this way. Yeah, because that was what would have happened first. The Oakland Raiders traded a 2003 third round pick and a 2003 seventh round pick, and they gave up a 2004 second round pick. So they did this a year in advance. This trade occurred in April of 2003. And the Raiders were like, and this is maybe an interesting, this is maybe an interesting layer for the Jets. If you get a team gung-ho on trading something in the future, and they're like, I just want the now. So the 33 is the now, and maybe that could allure the Jets to getting something in 2027, potentially. So the Raiders gave up a third and a seventh to get that, or to give up, because the Texans ended up getting it. Let me put it that way. The Texans got the second round pick for giving up that third and seventh. So the Texans had this future setting mind, which made a lot of sense. Now, the Texans never got to use that first pick of the second round because a few months later, they used it in the supplemental draft to take Tony Hollings, the Georgia Tech running back. And in the supplemental draft, basically how that works is in secret, when a player comes across, let's call Tony Hollings here, every team in the league secretly, almost like on a piece of paper, writes what they'd be willing to give up in terms of a supplemental pick, third round, this round, this round. Whichever team writes the highest round wins the bid. So the Texans had the highest bid, which is a second round draft choice. So they got that player in the supplemental draft. And the next available draft, this occurred in July, but the next available draft, you lose that pick, which in this case was the second rounder. So a unique situation here. There's not many situations like this that occur. So take that for what you will. But this was the first trade that involved the first pick of the second round. Let's go to our next one here. Okay, we jump all the way to 2011. Again, it's only happened 7 times in history. Again, this is these teams that get gung-ho in the moment, and they're willing to give up things in the future. The New England Patriots, golly, the New England Patriots gave up something in the moment, this was another trade that happened in advance. They gave up a 2010 third-round pick. The Patriots said, we'll give you a second-rounder next year, which was 2011. And that second rounder ended up being the first pick of the second round. So the Patriots got lucky. And so did that Raiders-Texans situation I mentioned earlier. They got lucky. They didn't know they were trading the 33rd overall pick. But we're going to highlight some examples here where teams knew it was the 33rd overall pick. And that was sort of the intrigue. So interesting. Another one here, a third for a 2. So it's sort of one round up. I can't remember who taught me this, and shame on me. But when I was coming up in this business, I was a massive draft fan, and I still am. And when someone taught me about the draft, they told me when you're trading picks in future rounds, okay, this is how I value it on the draft value chart, is that it is half the round, or it's one or the other. It's sort of interpretive, or that it's a round less. So, for instance, you see a third for a second. What the? Who would possibly do that? Well, future picks denigrate in value. Okay, because they're far away. You don't know what they are. They could be anywhere. So, sort of like a third round pick now is worth a second round pick later. Now, that's not always fair because, like, different drafts are different things. But in theory, that's sort of what happens here. So New England Patriots, it worked out for the Patriots. They get that pick. Let's go to 2015. I think this is a scenario that will intrigue a lot of Jet fans because this is a on the draft day trade. The Titans had the 33rd overall pick. They traded it to an aggressive Giants team who's looking to move up, who, by the way, ended up moving up for Landon Collins, the Alabama safety. When I was reading and going through this, I didn't realize that Landon Collins was 11 years ago. That makes me feel incredibly old. I feel like I remember that draft like yesterday. So I can't believe that was 11 years ago. But the Giants moved up from the 40th overall pick to the 33rd overall pick. So they had to swap seconds in that draft. They had to give up a 4th rounder, and they had to give up a 7th rounder, and they just dropped 7 spots. So for Jet fans out there in the audience, as we're going through this exercise, I think something that's very intriguing is how do you drop the minimal amount of spots to pick up the most assets? I think what probably most Jet fans are talking about in these scenarios is how far do we have to drop to get a third? Because in this case, 11 years ago, the Titans dropped 7 spots, picked up a 4 and a 7. Could you just pick up your swap and a third? Because if so, I think that's what a lot of Jet fans are looking for. I know Hep has talked about that as well. So that would be interesting. So this is another one of those scenarios where that could happen. That could make sense. But 2015 was the first one where this is, this is a draft day trade scenario, which like I said, I find very interesting. Let's get another one here. This is 2017. This one will look a little weird because there's an ad, unfortunately, in the article in our YouTube description down below. Hey, they got to pay their bills too. I understand. But this is part of the article I wrote for Heavy. Here's 2017. It's going to look massive, but I'll explain. The Browns traded back into the first round. So we're going to have scenarios here where at 33, where a team would trade back or a team would trade into the future. In this particular case, which is a scenario we've talked about here with the Jets, is the Browns traded back in 2017, traded back into the first round. This was their 3rd first-round pick. Interesting. Jets have 2 first-round picks. Do they trade back in for a 3rd first-round pick? ESPN's Jordan Reed believes the Jets could and will. Let me turn off the banner for a second so you guys can see this. In exchange, the Packers got the 33rd overall pick for the Browns trading up to pick 29 overall, and they picked up a 4th-round draft choice for only dropping 4 spots. So, again, there are some unique combinations here where you could get a lot of bang for your buck when we're talking about some of these trades. That, to me, is super fascinating. All right, let's get another one in here. Another one as we catch up on this process here. Okay, let's go to 2022. Very interesting combination here. Again, this is interesting history as we're going through this process. And I'll tell you, again, like what I think I learned from doing this. Let's go to 2022. The Jacksonville Jaguars traded back into the first round, getting the 27th overall pick. And the Bucs got that 33rd overall pick. They got a 4th-round pick and a 6th-round draft choice. So 6-spot drop. They picked up, they tripled the asset. They turned one asset into 3. Another possibility here with, again, the 33rd overall pick team being aggressive to trade back into the first round. Another possibility that can be considered here in 2022. And then we have 2 more trades that have occurred. And again, this one was another luck situation, the one I'm about to highlight right now. And I feel very bad because this guy is the Notre Dame Golden Domer. And for all our Notre Dame Golden Domer fans in the audience, I thought this guy was going to be a freak. I'm going to be honest. I totally thought he was, and he wasn't. In 2023, the Chicago Bears acquired wide receiver Chase Claypool in exchange for a second-round draft choice in 2023. Now, again, we didn't know at the time of this trade that it would be the 33rd overall pick. We did not know. This trade happened ahead of the trade deadline there at the end of 2022, in November of 2022. The Bears got Chase Claypool. The Steelers got the 33rd overall pick. And Chase Claypool ended up stinking, unfortunately, in all of his scenarios, especially for the Bears. He was a talented guy. He had like Megatron athletic numbers coming out of the combine. I remember that for old Chase Claypool. And unfortunately, like I said, that one didn't work out. But that was in advance, Steelers ended up getting lucky situation. And then we have one more to highlight, and this is the last one that has occurred. The last of the 7 trades that have occurred since the NFL expanded to 32 teams in 2002, in which the 33rd overall pick or the first pick of the second round was traded away. And that is this trade. And we just saw it. It involved the Buffalo Bills. Let's bring them up on the screen. The Buffalo Bills traded back out of the first round. So they had the 32nd overall pick because they did actually another trade with the Chiefs, which got the Chiefs Xavier Worthy. And they traded again, got out of the first round, and it was a 2-for-2 swap. Panthers moved back into the first round. They get 32nd overall and a sixth rounder, moving up one spot. And the Bills got a second and a fourth. So essentially, for moving down one spot, the Bills jumped up 2 rounds, jumping up from the sixth round to the fifth round. Fifth round. Got to make sure I'm saying this appropriately here. Is fifth round. So they moved up one spot, or moved back one spot from 32 to 33. Okay. But then think about this. They moved up 59 spots. Let me try to give it its proper context here because, right, Bills are picking at the ends of rounds, Carolina not so much all the time. And instead of picking at 200, they picked at 141. So they got a very seismic jump, but well worth. Again, that goes to show you that 33rd overall pick value that we talked about earlier. So an interesting exercise. Now, I'm going to be honest. I thought there would be more meat on the bone. I thought there'd be more trades that involve some big hoopla. Now, there was a lot of trades there, a lot of history, and all those kind of things. But I'll be honest. I thought there would be more. Like, for instance, let me throw this one out there. This is also my column down in the YouTube description down below for heavy.com. I thought for sure there would be one of those trades where someone would move to 33 and give up a future first. That did not happen in those scenarios. Now, it has happened with other picks. For instance, last year, the Atlanta Falcons wanted James Pierce Jr. so bad that they traded back into the first round. At the end of the first round, I believe there was like pick 26-ish, and gave up a future first to move up for James Pierce Jr. and other assets were involved. And then that pick ended up becoming the 13th overall pick. So I thought there'd be more examples of that. There wasn't with the 33rd overall pick in the history since 2002. But it doesn't mean it can't happen. Maybe a team would be willing in 2027. And then that's quite a debate. If you're a Jet person, it's quite a debate. Because some of you may say, well, add the first round picks, baby, 2027. That's the spot. But does AG say, I'm just going to give up a starter? Because that's what you're giving up at 33. If you stick and pick at 33, that guy should obviously be a starter. And quite frankly, it's probably a first round talent that fell to the second round. So we're talking about a high impact guy right there at 33 potentially. A high impact guy. So I'd be curious. That's the marriage of Muji and AG. Muji, I'm sure, fourth first round pick, sign me up. That puts more opportunities out there. They're lottery tickets to potentially land a quarterback. AG's like, I got to win now, buddy. And I'm not giving up, in theory, I don't want to just give up assets because that's probably, if you gave up 33 and someone to give up a 2027 first, you're probably not getting much more than that move, which will put you in a compromising position. So now it was a fascinating history of sort of diving in on that, which I appreciated through that process. Let's answer a few of your comments and then we'll get to the phone lines here on the show. We'll also have Boy Green Meets Woody today at 3 o'clock. I hope you guys could check that out, myself and James Woody. Shout out to Dom C, draft analyst. He joined us for many years here on the show until we got Drew Beatty. And thank you to Dom for making that happen with Drew and connecting our dots. I've very much enjoyed Drew on the show. But Dom keeps track of all the people that the Jets meet with at the Senior Bowl, the Combine, the visits. And to me, that's super fascinating. And he keeps track of that he has a Google Doc on his Twitter account. And what we're going to do for Boy Green Meets Woody today, coming up at 3 o'clock, is that we will tell you guys the most intriguing people that they've met with, according to me and Woody, and we'll have a top 5. So I'll be curious to see how we go through that process. So we'll be doing that coming up at 3 o'clock. Sharon says, prayers and love to Brody. Love you, Paul. Thank you, Sharon. And in case you guys missed it at the beginning of the show, again, if you guys have any prayers to share, I could really use them for my brother right there on your screen. And for audio-only listeners, I'm showing a picture of my brother Brody here, who he's my big brother. And he's in ICU right now with some significant health challenges. So any prayers out there in the universe that you guys could share would be much appreciated. He's a big sports fan. He's a New Orleans Saints fan. You guys may have seen him a couple of weeks ago when he called into the show, and I got him the phone lines, and we figured it out of how to get him to call into the show, and that was a lot of fun. He's a huge football fan. Huge football fan. He's a Saints fan, so take that for what you will, but he's a big football fan, and I love him. So again, any prayers would be much accepted right now. I would appreciate that. Thank you. NY Jets Phantom says, I picked Ty Simpson if he's there at 33, but I think he goes in the 20s. I mean, hey, if you're a television person on ESPN or NFL Network, you want Ty Simpson to be there at 33 because that is the conversation at the end of night 1. Oh, wow, Ty Simpson didn't go. It's in a much different way. It's the Shadur Sanders stuff from last year where, oh, my God, can you believe he's on the board? Oh, my God, where does he go? Like, it's good storylines for them. Ty Simpson would certainly feed that. That would feed families. And then you have the Jets and Cardinals. If that's true when he makes it to day 2, the Jets and Cardinals are jockeying for position. The Jets obviously have the pick, so they can take Ty if he makes it to that point if they want to. But the Cardinals, would they give an offer that the Jets can't refuse and move back? Does the team just trade back into the back end of the first round? Which is my gut right now, NY Jets fan, which it sounds like it's yours too, unless someone just straight up takes him in the 20s, is that I think someone could trade up for him with that 5th-year option. At this point, I will say it happens. I would say it happens. Is it the Jets? I don't know. But I'll tell you, like, if the Jets trade back into round 1, I would assume it's for Ty Simpson. But I told you guys that story from a couple years ago. It's a lot of years ago now. It's 2018. During the 2018 NFL draft, the New Orleans Saints traded either up from the end of round 1 or like back into the first round or something. I can't remember which. But they traded up to like pick 15, 16. And everyone, I'm watching the draft as I always do, and everyone on the draft desk is like, holy crap. The Saints are moving up for Lamar Jackson to put him behind Drew Brees. Like, oh, my God. And then you hear the draft capital, like they give up a future first. Like, holy crap, you only do that for certain positions. And then they moved up for Marcus Davenport, the UTSA pass rusher. And that didn't really work out with New Orleans. I'll let them speak for themselves on that one. But, like, I thought it was the quarterback. That's what everyone else thought. And then it wasn't. So if the Jets trade back into round 1, we're going to be in Pittsburgh, and all of a sudden I see the Jets have traded up. I'd be like, oh my God, Ty Simpson, I guess. But we'll try to I'm going to have my phone on me. I just got a new phone, so hopefully that'll help with storage and photos and videos and all that jazz. I just went through that whole hell yesterday, which, by the way, quick detour, quick rant. Oh my God. Exchanging a phone. I've never bought a phone before. I guess it's always been a hand-me-down or something. But go to the store and buying a brand new phone and transferring, and they need your social security number. They need your blood type. I mean, like they want to know my mother's maiden name on her 5th side from the medieval times. Like, good Lord! Like they ask you like a million questions, and I was there for like 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours. I don't even know how long I was in prison. Like, good Lord, that takes forever. But I'm glad I now have the phone that's sitting in front of me now, because now I got more storage for pictures and videos with Johnny Boy and Lou B and everybody out there. But good Lord, have mercy. No wonder I never bought a new phone before. And I don't regret it for one day. I mean, maybe this new phone's going to be super cool with all the gizmos and gadgets and whatnot. But I don't know what the hell's going on there. But I'd be very tempted, NY Jets fandom. I'd be tempted by every scenario. I'd be tempted if the Jets trade back into round one to get him. That means they like him. I'd be tempted they just pulled the trigger at 33 and said, yeah, we wouldn't have taken him in the first round, but damn, he's there already. Let's try it. What do we have to lose? You know, I would say you'd have to lose a very quality starter, because you have to think of opportunity cost. If we take Ty Simpson at 33, which again, if you find your quarterback at the 33rd overall pick, that's great value. But if you do that there, are you giving up on a Denzel Boston or a safety or a linebacker or whatever the hell you think you want to use that pick? That's an interesting conversation to have. But NY Jets fandom, that would be very dramatic. Appreciate this super chat coming through from Fastest Food Reviews, aka Chef Kevin Gilbert. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Wow.
Prayers sent up for Big Bro, Brody, my brother. Thank you, Chef. That means a lot. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the people that are sending in kind words right now. So, you know, this kind of stuff can sometimes be a little scary, but again, we're praying it up. So I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words. Fastest Food Reviews, you are now up to 13 raffle tickets. Make sure you guys support our buddy, Chef Kevin Gilbert, Fastest Food Reviews. 13 raffle tickets to our contest. Appreciate that. Prayers up for my brother, Brody. Love you, Brody. Thank you. Yeah. All right, let's get another super chat in here. Whoa, mamacita. We got Kyle Clifton coming up in here. I appreciate that, Kyle. Wow, Zariah.
Wow.
Okay, interesting here. Okay, let's first off, let me add this to Kyle's raffle ticket so far this month, which I'll promote here in just a second. Let me make sure I add this to the pile. Roll Kyle Clifton. Nice. All right. Thank you, Kyle. Very much appreciated. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Let's freaking go. Kyle Clifton. Nice 6-pack of raffle tickets here. He says, I want to leverage our spot at 33, possibly in a swap. Our second rounder next year and other picks to maybe go up and get Styles from 16 if he slips a bit. Defense could be transformed, all the best. Fascinating. So let's think about this. Let me pull up the draft value chart here. Okay. So I'd leverage 33, our second round there next year, and other picks. So let me pull out the draft value chart here. Let's see what we can cook. All right. So value chart. So let's see. 33. Let me get a calculator out. Let me see here. All right. I'll use this receipt for now. All right. So let's see. We've got 33, which is 580. Let's go. Second rounder, 16, 420, which would take us to 6,000. One up. 1, 2, 3, 6. So 1,000. Yeah. So that would be enough. Just even those two, your second rounder at 33 and your future second rounder would give you 1,000 draft points, which is the equivalent of the 16th overall pick. So interesting. And let me go back to Kyle. Well, we're just about at 33. The next rounder, maybe go up and get Styles from 16 if he slips a bit. Oh, from 16. Oh, now I understand what you're saying. A swap. Okay. I was misreading it, but I understand what you're saying. So you take whoever at 2. Let's call it Arvell Reese for now. You take Arvell Reese at 2 and then double dip on defense. That to me is interesting. Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different picks because, right, 33 could be a swap situation. You know, like, hey, we move up here and we swap 33 with whatever your 2 is and we drop back at 2. Oh, that, okay. Okay, Kyle. Yeah, I mean, that would be super cool because, like, you know, I'm trying to think of the draft. There is a chance that Sonny could go at 5 to the Giants. I think it's less likely to Cardinals or Titans. Cleveland's going offensive tackle, I'm pretty sure, or wide receiver. Then you're at 7 with Washington. They're trying to trade back. So that could be your spot that you're talking about, Kyle. I'm just like, I'm staring at nothing. I'm staring at a blank wall, but my cogs are moving in my head. 8 New Orleans, 9 Kansas City, 10 Cincinnati. Cincinnati could keep him home. Their defense is abysmal. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we've circled Washington for quite some time as a team that would make sense. I do like it, though. I don't mind the double dip. I will be losing my collective bananas if they double dip at Ohio State. Ooh. Okay. I like the cut of your jib, Kyle. I like the cut of your jib. And all the best. Appreciate that, Kyle. The defense would be transformed. I mean, come on. Let's all be incredibly honest here. Our defense was one of the worst defenses in NFL history last year. I mean, when you have 0 picks, I mean, that sort of comes with the territory. So, yeah, so if there was a way to walk away with 2 transcendent talents of Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, we've been saying Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles. Kyle Clifton says, actually, I'd like to buy a vowel and Sonny Styles. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. All right. 100%. Yeah, Taylor Stern saying it's creative. It is creative. I like that. Yeah, shout out to Kyle Clifton. Reese and Styles. Wow. Yes. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Beautiful. Well, Kyle, thank you so much for the raffle tickets. I appreciate that. And by the way, let's show what those raffle tickets are, folks. I'll make sure I throw that up here on the big board. If you're new to the channel, every month we do a raffle giveaway here on the channel. We give back to you, the audience out there. Try to make it as affordable as possible. Raffle tickets are $3 a piece, folks. So every time you spend $3 on the channel, you've seen a couple of super chats so far. That's a way to do it. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that money sign, super stickers, super chats. You can give channel memberships to thy neighbor. Okay, that's possible. You don't get to pick who those memberships go to. It is at random, but it is randomly assigned to the most active people on the channel. That's what YouTube tells me. I don't know. I'm not sure. So every time you gift one membership, that's a raffle ticket. If you buy yourself a membership, you see that join button. If you're watching on YouTube, you can join the Boy Green Coffee Club and the Espresso Club. I would tell you guys, if your goal is like, you know what, I want to stockpile some raffle tickets. I think the best value is joining the Boy Green Espresso Club. That's only $5.99 a month. And for joining the Espresso Club, you get all the perks of the Coffee Club and Espresso Club, loyalty badge, emoji access, early access to new videos. We've had a bunch of big guests on the show. Judy Batista has been on the show. We are 6 days away from Chris Strevler. He's going to be on the show. We have Russell Brown this week. So we have a lot of big interviews. And I'm working on another big one for this week. We'll see if I can, I'm on the hunt. I'm looking for Moby Dick. And it's closing in, this guest. This guest I haven't had on the show in a couple of years. But a good friend at the mothership at ESPN. And I want to get on the show. We'll see if we could get him on. That'd be great. But anywho, the Espresso Club gives you all kinds of access to things. But you get 5 raffle tickets automatically for joining the Espresso Club. Raffle tickets are $3 a piece. So 5 raffle tickets, beep, boop, bop. That's $15. 5 raffle tickets, but the Espresso Club's only $6, which would be only 2 raffle tickets if you just gifted 2 memberships. So again, a nice little perk there for joining the Espresso Club. And here are the prizes for this month, people. The brand spanking new New York Jets draft hat. We will give all of these prizes on the screen away on May 1st. It's a Sauce Gardner jersey. It's a brand new Jets draft hat and a 50-pack of New York Jets trading cards. You guys can collect them. You guys can get them signed by people if you want. You can give them to your kids. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do with them in the universe, but it has a nice combo platter of legends like Joe Namath and Matt Snell, and then also current players like Garrett Wilson. So a 50-pack of New York Jets trading cards. The Sauce Gardner jersey. I'm going to be wearing my Sauce Gardner jersey as I hate watch the Colts. I normally have nothing against the Colts. The Colts are fine people, and they have that weird fan who like sings. So something for the love of the Colts. I don't even remember the song, but I normally don't hate on those kind of people, but Colts fans, but I got to do what I got to do. The worse they are, the better it is for us. So I will wear my Sauce Gardner jersey and hope that some sort of anti-juju that makes the Colts stink. But yes, we'll be giving these prizes away on May 1st. Once we identify whoever that winner is, I will reach out to you because the Sauce Gardner jersey is purchased. I have that. The trading cards are purchased. I have that. What I don't have yet is the draft hat because I want you guys to pick whatever draft hat you prefer. There's flex fit, snapbacks, this hat, that hat. I'm a hat aficionado. I'm a hat schnabb. So I'll let you guys pick whatever hat, whoever the winner is, get that. And again, folks, the value of all these items on the screen. Jerseys are super expensive. Trading cards. A draft hat. The draft hat's like $50, man, with shipping. I mean, it's an incredible price, but I think it's a badass hat this year, so I think it's well worth it. But if you're, gaining raffle tickets out there in the audience, what do you have to lose? At least I suggest to everyone that watches this show, at least give one raffle ticket this month so you have a chance to win all those prizes. The prize value is like $100, $200 or something. But if you spend $3, you have a chance to win it. And people have won it, by the way, with only one raffle ticket. So I highly recommend you do that. We do raffles every single month here on the channel. Hope you guys take advantage. Beautiful. All right. So thank you for the super chat. Let me catch back up here. Another super chat coming in. Let's go to Easy, baby. Let's go.
Wow.
What is the most first-round draft picks a team has had in one draft? Well, Easy, you are quite familiar with that team. That is, in fact, the New York Jets in the 2000 NFL Draft. The most first-round picks a team has ever had is 4. And the Jets just did a draft rewind on this. Let's see if I can remember. In that draft, I believe the Jets had the 12th overall pick, the 13th overall pick, the 18th overall pick, and the 27th overall pick. Let's see how good Boy Green's memory is. A random trivia game I'm putting myself on. With the 12th overall pick, the Jets selected Sean Ellis. With the 13th overall pick, they selected John Abraham. With the 18th overall pick, they took Chad Pennington, the quarterback out of Marshall. And with the 27th overall pick, they took Anthony Beck, the tight end out of West Virginia. Let me see if I'm right. Did my brain remember all that? Let's see. If so, I deserve a standing ovation. Let me see. Did I just nail that? Did I just nail that? Let me see. Let's see. All right. So again, I said before I look, 12th overall Sean Ellis, 13th overall John Abraham, 18th overall Chad Pennington, and 27th overall Anthony Beck. Anthony Beck, tight end out of West Virginia. 18th overall Chad Pennington, quarterback out of Marshall. Yeah, John Abraham 13th and Sean Ellis 12th. Let's see if I'm right. Sean Ellis 12th. Ding! Out of Tennessee. John Abraham 13th out of South Carolina. Ding! 18 Chad Pennington. Ding! Okay, come on, baby. Yes! 27th was Anthony Beck. Let's freaking go. Way to pat myself on the back with a limp wrist. Yeah, there you go. That Boy Green knowledge. My fiance may wonder why I can't remember to take out the trash, but I've got 2000 NFL draft from 26 years ago knowledge in my brain, honey. Sorry, Charlie. Nice. But yes, it was in fact the New York Jets. 2000 NFL draft, 4 first-round picks. The Jets nearly matched it. 2022. The Jets had 4th overall Sauce Gardner, 10th overall Garrett Wilson. Jermaine Johnson was the 26th overall pick, and the Jets tried to trade back in for Breece Hall to get a 4th first-round draft choice. And we'd be in an interesting spot right now because the Jets wouldn't have had to franchise tag Breece Hall. They would have accepted the 5th-year option on his contract, and he'd be on the 5th-year option right now, not on a franchise tag. God bless myself. I don't know if I could still do that with Quentin Williams not here, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, who knows what would happen. So they almost had 4 first-round picks in 2022. They were unable to get back in the first round, and Breece Hall used that as a motivational chip. So 4 is the answer to that trivia question, Easy. And those 4 are the great core 4. That 2000 draft for the Jets, man, people forget, like, Lavernius Coates was a 3rd-round draft choice in that class. So not only did you kill it, and think about that, like Chad Pennington is one of the best Jets quarterbacks in history. Love Chad. Sean Ellis, Big Cat, was like here forever, and he's a Ring of Honor guy. He is a stud. John Abraham is one of the most dynamic sack artists in NFL history. And Anthony Beck had like a 10-year career or something in the NFL, man. Good for him. Lavernius Coles is one of my favorite receivers of all time. So what a hell of a draft, man. A hell of a draft in 2000. But that is true. That is it. 4 first-rounders. That is the most that's ever been done. Appreciate, though, Easy. That is a raffle ticket to the contest, my friend, based on your previous Super Chat combinations. Nice. Way to pat yourself on the back, Paul. Boom shakalaka. Oh, yeah. Shout out to John, baby. John LG is gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Guys, make sure you guys get in here. Get in this raffle. You want a chance to win these prizes. And then it's the wheel of names. It's completely at random. I don't pick who wins the contest. It's up to the gods who do that. And wow, I don't think I've ever seen this before. John gifted a membership and it went to himself. John gifted himself. I just told you guys it's random. You don't get to pick who gives. So did he wrap that present? Did he say like, hey, happy birthday? Oh, hey, John, happy birthday. Oh, thanks, John. All right, let me see. What's in it? Did he wrap it? Did he gift it to himself? Is there a card in there? Wow. That was impressive. I have never seen that in my life before. Holy crap. John, congratulations. That's probably a good sign of you winning something. Good Lord. Wow. That just happened. John asked. I gifted a membership and it randomly was assigned to me? Yes. Yes, it was. Wow. Okay. You gotta go play the lottery or something today, my friend. That is impressive as all hell. All right. There you go. Way to flex. Okay, I haven't seen that one very often, like I said, or ever. So that's different. All right, shout out to John. Wow, holy crap. All right, way to go, John. All right, well, you are now in the raffle, that's for damn sure. And sounds like you're in the raffle of life, and you're winning, pal. All right, congratulations. I've never seen that before. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, Brian Farrell. I hope he thanked himself too. Yeah. Taylor Stronger says, can't make that shit up, John. Wow, unbelievable. Kyle Clifton says, maybe we go from 33 to 39, dipping into later 2028, but we need D as bad as second most points allowed last year. You'd have to get past NYG, but if 33 is added inherent value, it might appeal to Cleveland. Interesting. Yeah, who's picking at 39? That's right. Yeah, they're a team to watch. I don't know. I've heard conflicting reports on how interested they would be, but I'm fascinated. Luby Super Jets fan. If Carnell Tate or Sonny Styles is at 7 and we trade, who do we take? He's saying if they're both there. Ooh. Well, I'll tell you this, Lou. We'll be together. I would be happy with either. Either scenario I'd be happy with. Now, some people want Jeremiah. Well, not some people. Everyone and their mother wants Jeremiah Smith next year. But you just don't know if you're going to be in position to take him. So you have to consider that. That's tough. Oh, it's a first world problem. I'll just tell you that, Lucas. I'm assuming we're taking Arvel Reese at 2. And now we have Tater Styles at 7. Oh, dear Lord. What a Sophie's choice. I would, again, I can't say I'd love either. I'd lean... If I'm being honest, talking this out, I think Sonny Styles is a better off-ball linebacker than Carnell Tate is a wide receiver, and I don't mean that as an insult. My gut says. But boy, I'd probably pick Carnell Tate. And just because, that immediately helps Garrett Wilson. If you don't take it, so okay, let's play this out. I'm going Carnell Tate with a gun to my head, but I think either scenario excites me. But let's play this out. So at 2, you take, let's call it Arvel Reese. You move up to 7, and you're giving up in that Daniel Jeremiah mock draft that we hinted at yesterday. In that trade up, you give up 16, you get 40 for your second of 2 second-round picks, the Dallas Cowboys, and your 4th rounder, which is 103, that's a very good pick. And then you move up to 7. So you can either stay at 33 and hope the God a receiver gets there, or you could trade up again and use future assets to try to dip into there. But I'd be very worried. If I go to 7 and I take Sonny Styles and I took Arvel Reese at 2, I'd be very worried, like, who the hell is playing wide receiver for the Jets? Besides Garrett Wilson, obviously. That would scare me because, there's a long way from pick 7 to pick 33. A long way. So I'd probably go wide receiver. But admitting that I think Sonny Styles is a better off-ball linebacker than Carnell Tate is a wide receiver, and if that is true and you want to go best player available in both their needs, you should lean Sonny Styles. But Carnell Tate would be fun. It would obviously have an impact on Garrett. It obviously would have an impact on whoever's playing quarterback, not just this year, but for many years. A first-round pick is not on a one-year deal. That first-round pick is on a multi-year deal. So, Yeah. That's where I'd go. That's a good conversation though. Hit the like button, boys. 100%, as Brian Farrell says here. We have, let me do a quick discount double check here. All right. We have 300 people in the room, including 100 of those 300 watching right now on YouTube. So God bless. Thank you guys very much. But only 62 likes. So 40 of you are just sort of awkwardly watching. It's getting a little weird, man. It's getting a little weird. Hit that like button, people. It's free to do. Make it a part of your routine. Every time you come into the show, you hit that like button on the video. We'd appreciate that. We are only 5 subscribers away from 8,550. So help us push over the goal line, baby, if you can. That would be terrific as we continue our chase, of course, to 10,000 subscribers. So that would be freaking cool. And as Bob says, he wants us to get to 8,600 by the draft. I mean, we're running out of time. We're 9 days away. Can we get 55 more people in 9 days? Maybe. I guess it's possible, the numbers, but let's see. For sure. Let's see. Let me catch up here. All right. Well, why don't we do this? Because I could keep answering your questions and comments forever, which I will continue to do. Let's play a quick Hep timeout, and then I'll welcome in your phone calls. I will also take more of your questions before we dip. Again, we'll be back on at 3 o'clock. Boy Green meets Woody. Let's take a quick timeout, and we'll be back after this.
1, 2, 3.
Man, when you see the community out there of people all singing a song or hanging out talking Jets, you're just like, damn. You know, whenever you feel in your life a little lonely or a little anything, and then you see that video and pow, look at all the people in your life that you don't think about, your community, your friends, your family, a common goal. We're all brought together by one thing, and it is the NYJ. And then from there, family, food, life, and we just all sort of, kind of, I guess marinate, but that's sort of a weird word to use. But, we're all just sort of jump in a pile all together, and we're family for life. That's a beautiful place to be. All right, everybody. That phone line is now open. That is the pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. I appreciate it for watching on Facebook. I see we got a few people in there. I appreciate it for watching on the X. And I appreciate the YouTube people. I appreciate the people that even rewatch a show at like 3 o'clock at this point sectors getting up in the morning. I respect that too. And thank you to our audio-only listeners here on the program. Appreciate you. That is the time to call in. And if you'd like to get your participation trophy, now is the time to do so. Let's jump over to those phone lines. We'll kick it off with Hep.
Hey, Paul. I saw the thing about Brody Pop had posted on Facebook. And that really hit me. I was wondering, could you tell us a Brody story so we get to know him a little bit?
I can't. So, my brother Brody, we used to live in South Carolina, and we had this tree house in the back. So, like, we had a very big backyard. We had a swimming pool. We had this, like, dog cage thing where it was like massive. Our dogs were never in there, but you could have. It was there in the backyard. And then we had some wooded area, and then behind that there was this like tree house. Now this tree house is 4 boards standing up in the air, and there's this big like industrial pipe that fell from like the gods, and it's leaning inside the tree house. It just at this weird angle. And we're all hanging out there, and someone tells Brody, "Hey, do you think you could go down the slide, the
Oh
pipe?"
no.
And he's like, "Yeah, I could do that." And Brody enjoyed when people said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" Sure, let's do it. So he gets on top of this treehouse, and now, like I said, this treehouse, I'm not sure how enforced this treehouse is. Now, here's a picture of my brother Brody. It's not a good enough picture to see him. My brother is like 6'3",
Yeah, he's big.
275 pounds. I mean, this is a big boy. This is a big
Mhm.
boy, and I am eerily watching him climb up this clubhouse. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, guys. And he gets on top of the treehouse, and his legs get inside this pipe, and he looks at all of us. It's me, my sister Kaylee, my brother Nick was probably out there, and he looks to us and goes, "Hasta a vista, baby," and gives a salute and goes, "Huh!" And then he gets halfway down the pipe, but gets stuck, and his
Oh,
hands
no.
are just sticking out. Again, he's 6'3",
Oh
and
my
he's halfway
God.
down this pipe, and now he's just like this, like because the pipe is so tight, like he
Yeah.
can't move his arms. He's just stuck like this, like a
Oh my
referee
God.
going touchdown. And I go, at first there's some laughter, and then there's like, oh my
Oh,
God, he's stuck.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Can you
oh
breathe and
shit.
stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, right, right. And I'm like, oh God, oh geez. And my brothers and sisters screw off like, oh geez, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm out of here. I'm like, don't leave him. And then my brother Brody's like losing his mind, like, please, Jesus, help. I'm stuck in a pipe. And I'm like, oh dear God. So then, eventually you try to, as kids, can we get out of this problem? Wait, before we get the parents involved, can we solve this? We quickly find out, nope, I cannot lift my 6'3", 275-pound brother out of this pipe. All right, let's go inside. And my dad must have been having he used to host these in South Carolina, like these poker tournaments where they've all his Navy buddies over and they're all
Sure.
around the card table and they're playing. And I'm like, Dad, your brother, my brother is like, I don't know, this whole situation outside. Can you and a couple of your guys like come out here? And him and a bunch of the guys out there, must have been 6 or 7 guys that are there, Jesse, Sean, and a bunch of other guys. And they come out and they just see Brody's dangling
Oh my
hands out
God.
the pipe. And it's almost like a Christmas Story, right? The kid that gets his tongue stuck to the pole, and they're all
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Jesus. So they come out. And again, I didn't think that. I thought it potentially, when my brother got on top of this treehouse, that the treehouse could have collapsed. Like he wouldn't have even gotten a chance
Yeah.
to the pipe because the treehouse is a little shoddy. So then all these big poker guys come over and they get on top of the treehouse to try to see, can we and like
Yeah,
try to
pull him out.
him out at like a deadlift to get him out. I'm like, oh boy, I don't know. Long story short, they get there and they're trying to get him out. They can't get him out. And eventually they pull his ass out and he
Oh, okay.
comes out, and oh my God. But I will never forget. And if I just in that house at any point, it doesn't matter what the context is, if I just go, hasta a vista, baby, that's forever what they all remember in the house now. So yeah, I got a lot of funny Brody stories from that. So I appreciated you, bringing it up so I could tell a
Yeah.
story. Oh my God, he's he's one of a kind. He's one
Yeah,
of a
that's his catchphrase, hasta la vista.
yeah,
So
right. And he
I
didn't
just
even
want-
say it right either. He would just
Oh.
go hasta a vista, baby. And I'm just like, and he has all these things. He has like a million nicknames for himself. He's an interesting character for sure.
Well, in that vein and with this spirit involved, there's a story of Jesus. He was healing people in a square, and there was a Roman captain came up to me and said, "I have a servant who I love like a son, and can you please come and can you please heal him?" And Jesus said, "Sure, I'll come with you right now. Where's your house? I'll come with you." And he says, "No, you don't have to do that." He goes, "I'm a captain, and I know if I tell someone to do something, he's going to do it. So could you help?" He goes, and Jesus was flawed. He's a Roman that's not even Jewish, and he understands his teachings in some ways better than the people he's been preaching to for years. And he goes, "Your faith has saved you. Yes, your faith has saved your servant." And at that moment, one of his other servants came up and goes, "He's all right. He's okay. He's fine." So let's keep it's his divine right to be healthy. Let's keep positive thoughts out for Brody.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Hep. Appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you. Yeah. I'll have to try to if there's another Brody story. Oh my god. We've had a lot of experiences together. Let's put it that way. That was good. I appreciate that. Again, we got 300 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe here on the show. All right, let's go back to this guy. Appreciate him. He might be getting some live intel right now from MetLife Stadium. It is the one and only Kyle Clifton. Wait a second. Look at that jersey. What jersey are we wearing, Kyle?
That is
Keyshawn?
That is Keyshawn, yes.
Oh my! Look at that jersey, man! Oh my God, that's one I wish I had in the closet. That version too. Oh, that's spectacular.
It was a recent win of a raffle, and I do love it.
Good for you, man. That is phenomenal. That is an amazing jersey.
Yeah. So, just one quick thing. Like,
yes, sir.
You're very blessed to have a close relationship with your brother. I love my brother very much, but there's a big gap between he and I. It's almost 9 years.
Wow.
He ended up working with my father in the same industry, and like they would be partners in construction.
Yeah.
So they had a special relationship that I got a little jealous of, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So it's best to you and your family.
Yeah, he is. Let me try to make sure I get my druthers with me. I believe he's 4 years. A lot of us siblings are 2 years apart, but he's my oldest sibling. He was born in '89. So yeah, he's got a 4 year gap on me. So yeah, but yeah, no, I'm very lucky to have the relationship with all of my siblings, quite frankly. Every once in a while, everyone, brothers, sisters, we get choppy patches for sure. But I am very blessed to be close with all of them. So yeah, very lucky. No, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of call in and elaborate on what I was saying in the chat.
Yeah, please, yeah.
Because if we think that this pick has inherent value, 33,
yeah,
we can use it in any number of ways. And coming up is one that's not really often talked about, right? So it could just as easily be used for tape, right? And the stuff that's going back the other way might even be less for Tate because I think he's going to be on the board longer. So if you want to build uniformly, if that's your team building philosophy is like we got to build the offense and the defense uniformly, or maybe their philosophy is this is a defense heavy draft. We're going to hit defense this year, and then we have a lot of guys we think are going to be star level players at the position groups next year, and that's what we'll do. In the first round, and that however they think is the best way to do it, obviously they're going to do it that way. I kind of wish they would do it without Glenn, but I don't want to digress.
But it does go to show you, though, with that history that I brought up, right? There's been 24 drafts since 2002. 7 times that pick has been traded. That pick has been utilized, interestingly, in a lot of ways. There have been aggressive teams at 33 that say, we need to get back into the first round for something. There's been teams that have been more complacent. I think it's too harsh of a way to describe it, but like the Tennessee in 2015, 11 years ago, they were, Giants, you're crazy for Landon Collins. All right, no problem with us. We'll triple our assets. We'll get 3 picks out of it if you want 1 for the 33 and do it. And Muji probably is going to really be creatively thinking if he's got a team like the Giants back then that really wants somebody. Can he parlay that into 2027 stuff? Because normally you get that round later. So you sort of get an inherent advantage by trading for future picks. And if that draft class is deeper, that's sort of a fine line. Again, you have to get AG, to your point that you just mentioned. You got to get his approval, which I'm sure, will be semi-annoying for Muji, whatever passing on there. But that's another way to do it. So, yeah, there have been teams that traded back into the first round. There have been teams that traded back. So there's a lot of different combinations to go there.
So, and there's two things going on right now, right? Like, is Glenn trying to save his job, and the fans, from their perspective, do they want to be as good as possible right away?
Right.
Everybody wants to be as good as possible right away, but is that prudent team building, right? Like, to me, I want to be ready to go after the 2027 draft, and I think we can do it. But it's just a matter of philosophy, I think. So, if you think that, absolutely they need a running partner for Garrett this year that is going to take some heat off him, and that's the best way to build the team, I'm here for it.
Okay.
To me, the best player on the board in that scenario where he slips past 5 is going to be Styles.
I agree.
And I'm very tempted to build a defense that could be good right away, because no interceptions and a half point off the worst points yielded in the league is not acceptable for a Jets team that usually has a defense they can hang their hat on. I appreciate your time.
And by the way, real quick, Kyle, would your so let's say because 7 just feels like the dream dance partner. It takes 2 to tango. Washington needs a picks. Jets have the picks to make something happen.
Right.
Would it be Arvell and Sonny reunited? Is that the dream?
That's how I kind of see it. Yeah.
Oh my God! Could you imagine that? Oh my good God, that would be amazing.
That's why I think it would be impactful just to have the two of them together.
Right, with everybody
some
else
of the moves we've had previously in the offseason.
Oh my God, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Demario Davis, Will McDonald, Devondre Sweat, Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese. I mean, good night. Okay, well now you're cooking, Kyle. We'll see.
I'll talk to you.
There he is, Kyle Clifton, and beautiful jersey, by the way. I can't get over that jersey. That Keyshawn jersey is spectacular. Absolutely. That is fascinating. But here's my thing on the other part of Kyle said, like, what do Jet fans want? Do they want to win immediately? Do you want to be set up right after 2027? I want both, man. Is that possible? I don't know. But I don't want to wait another year. I want to win right now. I think, I want to say I think we can win right now. Some people are going to laugh at that because they were 3-14 last year, but I want to have my cake and eat it too. I want to win and try to be competitive immediately. And can Gino, I'm sharing some more clips from my Judy Batista interview. I just shared one of her rant on Garrett Wilson, which is spectacular, by the way. We just uploaded that to the video section. If you guys haven't seen the full interview, that's a great clip of us just sort of commiserating, like, oh my God, can we get Garrett Wilson the friggin' football? Which was good. And another one she has is about, sort of competency of Geno Smith and that giving you a base, Frank Reich competency giving you a base, and maybe from that you can sort of expound upon from there. So yeah, I want to live in both worlds. I certainly want to be ready to go after 27 because 3 first-round picks. I mean, this is very exciting, and I can't wait. The draft is 9 days away. That's amazing. But like 27 is another opportunity, and the free agency that precedes it is massive. Sort of franchise building, altering opportunities. Yeah. Let's answer some more of your questions or comments. Yeah, I am fascinated. I just saw someone tweet about this, the center class, which center is going to go off the board first. I think there was Jordan Reed talking about that. He would like to see that. Sal, who's here on YouTube. What's up, Sal? Reese and Styles would be awesome. That would be, again, I'm going to be there at the draft. I can't say that enough. That to walk away from the first 7 picks, having Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, it's nuts. It's even hard to believe. It's possible, certainly possible, but wow. Mr. Bonesy says, Clifton, we signed 24 veterans on defense. We're drafting an offensive player. We'll see. I think 2 is probably definitely defense. And then 16 feels like wide receiver. That seems like the betting favorite. That doesn't mean that's what they will do, but seems like it. Hennessy Heisman says, ooh, new Hennessy Heisman avatar picture I see. Oh, Hennessy has that same style jersey that on his previous avatar that old Kyle Clifton had there with a beautiful jersey. Stop overthinking it. Reese will be at 2 and everyone knows it. Yeah, there has been some David Bailey smoke. But I'll be writing a column about that today because Rich and me talked about that on the previous episode of the Jets Collective podcast about what would be the motivation of this David Bailey rumors. And he had some interesting thoughts on it from trade perspective. Mark Cicchetti, I think AG's trying to build a winning team. I absolutely think he's trying to build a winning team. Look at all the veterans he added. Yeah, he's trying to win right now. There's no question. Jay Burek saying if this is a deep defensive draft, then with the top picks, you take the offensive skill players. That could make sense. That's possible. That's a strategy to have if you want to go from there. Anyway, Jet Sandom says move up from 33. There's a case to be made. Get that 3rd first-round pick if there's someone you love. Yeah, I'm not. I don't hate that. Yeah, I've not seen the QB grinder with Ty Simpson. Yeah, there it is. I was just going to bring this up. Tank for Ty says, watch Ty Simpson's Gruden QB camp. Awesome episode. I've not gotten a chance to see that. I hope I get a chance to see that soon. I'd love to see that. Mr. Bonesy says, BG, prayers up for your brother. I'm about to go to sleep. Yeah, go to sleep on the train there, Mr. Bonesy. There you go. But I appreciate the kind words. Thank you for everyone that's had wonderful things to say. Jamal Joseph says, one of the worst number one picks in retrospect was Keyshawn Johnson. I don't know about that. I wouldn't say that. One of the worst number one picks. Jamarcus Russell would have something to say about that. I mean, we could go through history of number one, picks that have been terrible. Keyshawn had a wonderful career for him. With that Jets run, I think he had the second most receiving yards over that span, like 4,000 something receiving yards in a 3 or 4 year span, whatever it was. Like, that's the second most of any Jets receiver of all time. Like, so no, I don't think, it ended up not working out. You have to trade him for multiple firsts, which feeds into our 2000 draft conversation we had with the Bucks. And he ends up winning the Super Bowl. So nah, definitely not one of the worst. Although, what's his name? Brandon Tierney, Rich Cimini asked the fellas, he said, hey, what's some of the picks in your past that gives you angst? Like, what Jets draft pick? Now, for me, it's clearly Vernon Gholston. He's the worst Jets draft pick of all time. 2008, 6th overall. He is clearly the worst first round pick of all time. He had 0 sacks. How can you do any worse than that? And I think what people forget about that is that if Vernon Gholston hits, if he's the player we all think he is, the Jets go to the Super Bowl at least one of the 2 years, and who knows, maybe both. If he's that dynamic pass rusher to add to that Rex Ryan defense, what they needed him to be, who knows what he could have been, but he never was. So, and well, I mean, he predated. That was Eric Mangini's last draft before Rex Ryan took over in 2009. But just to say that what he could have been there for sure. I see Cole Young gifted a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Cole Young. Every time we get a 5-pack of memberships out there in the audience, we got to play something special. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Jets, Jets.
There you go. Love that. Mikey, love you, buddy. All right, Cole, let's get some memberships flowing in here. Cole Young, appreciate you. Let's put that 5-pack on the big board. I see we have other memberships. I will catch up on everybody here on the channel. Much appreciated. Beautiful. Cole, I believe those are your first raffle tickets of the month, baby. I love it. 5 raffle tickets out there in the audience. All right, let's read those 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club here. Let me take a gander. Then we'll come back to the phone lines here on the channel. All right, let me see. Let me hit this refresh button. I'm always a monkey operating a spotlight with this thing. Always messing up. Always not reading this thing quick enough or appropriate enough. Okay, here it is. Good Lord have mercy. All right, here are the 5 new members to Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to Cole Young. That went to Dominic S. Jets, Chargers Reggae, Late Night, and Christopher Phillips. You guys are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Appreciate you, Cole. It's a 5-pack of memberships. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay. So Jared B. gifted a membership. Let's add that to the total here on the program. It's 4 raffle tickets so far this month. Let's go. Let's shout out to my guy, Jared B. Baby. Oh, yes. Okay, beautiful. Let me see who that membership. Let me see if I can get that on the old cellular device. Let me see if I can hit that membership up. But thank you very much to our buddy Jared B. Let me see if I can find that real quick. That's not. Let me find it. Whoever got that membership from Jared B. God bless America. Appreciate you, and thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you very kindly. So I did put that on the leaderboard, Jared B. Sorry, I missed that somehow in here. Stam, let me see. Did I get it in here? Yeah, it didn't. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, here we go. There it is. Boom shakalaka. Thank you, Jared B. Sometimes this YouTube thing isn't always a trustworthy thing as I'm doing this here, but thank you so far. Austin Jet Fan gifted a membership. Jared B. gifted a membership. Fastest Fruit Review sent in a super chat. Kyle Clifton sent in a super chat. EZ sent in a super chat. John LG with a gifted membership, and now Cole Young with a 5-pack. Appreciate you guys out there in the audience. Thank you for that, and thank you for the continued prayers for my brother Brody. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go back to the phone lines here on the program. There's a pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. We've got the one and only Dave Briga.
Hey, Paul. Good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
How you doing today? I'm sorry to hear about your brother.
Thank you. Yeah.
We'll put him on our church prayer list.
Thank you
So
so much, sir.
yeah. So when family difficulties hit, football is secondary. You
Yeah.
know. So
Mhm.
we all got to we all have to remember the important things in life.
Of course.
You know.
Mhm.
It's only all fun and games like today's as Maniac Madness. So I
Yeah.
want to. So we're in a battle today, Gary and me. I
Oh,
know you
yeah.
don't. Yeah, Gary. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm dealing against multiple votes. So all's fair
Well,
in love and
people.
war.
Well, let's say this. I mean, now that we're all here, I mean, people, make sure you
I'm
guys
da-
go vote for our guy Dave. Gary's called in a handful of times, but Dave is an OG. He is a Boy Green Daily guy through and through. He's called in here much more than Gary. There's been quality and quantity here. So, Gary, with all due respect, sorry, pal. This is a Dave Briga show. So, all the love to you, Dave. Let's go vote. Let's go.
Thank you. I never knew Gary was on this show. I never
Yeah,
did.
he's called into a post game show a handful of times, and then he on some of my later episodes, I've seen him call in on Boy Green Daily. But yeah, I mean, I can count on one hand, and with all due respect, I can count on one hand how many times he's called in. Like you, Dave. I mean, good lord. I mean, I've punched in your card so many times. I don't know if you have any more room for the card to punch when you call into this show. So, oh yeah, you get all our votes. There's no question.
Well, I appreciate your show. You bring on guys that are really serious about football most of the time.
Look at this.
Mo-
Everyone's
All the
saying it in
time.
the chat. JD Surf City, you got my vote. Papa Jet, you've got my vote. Votes are pouring in. Vote for Briga. Lou B. Okay, there you go. Well, you got an army, Dave. We're here for you.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate all the ladies and gentlemen out there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I'll get to the football point.
Yes, sir.
Uh, you know, the draft is coming close. So I'm trying to ignore a lot of this stuff because it's
Yeah.
oversaturation at this point. But I'm
Sure.
just hoping for this, right? I'm not
Okay.
convinced about any of these guys at the top of the draft being fabulous football players because they're mostly projection.
That's true.
I know
Yeah.
we need defense, okay? I'm
Yep.
just hoping Muji has some magic and he can get a trade partner for that number 2 and we
Oh,
could
sure.
swing some more picks. We got to build this offense. The NFL is built on offense today. Yes, we need a pass rush. You need to get to the passer so they can get somebody back there to make some interceptions. But you're not doing anything without offense
Mhm.
in the NFL these days. It's all about offense. They've taken defense pretty much away from us, except for the aspect of getting to the passer. That's the main thing on defense. Stopping the run, we seem to seal that up though. See, we got some good pluggers up front,
Mhm.
you know. So
Mhm.
hopefully that works. But we got to get offense.
Yeah.
You're not going to move the ball. You have to give if Geno Smith is going to be the quarterback, you're going to have to give him some weapons.
Yeah.
So do something, get us some weapons. I don't want no guys that we have to depend on Glenn's scheming things up, training these guys. Somebody maybe this Duker could scheme things up. And when we had Rex, he used to scheme things up with minimal talent. I know that's not going to happen. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But you have to have offense if you're going to win. The New York Jets have had no offense to speak of in the
Mhm.
last 15 years.
Yeah.
That's made us a winning team. So
Mhm.
that's my 2 cents. I don't trust these guys at the top of the draft. I just don't trust them to, they're all projection, whether it
Yeah.
be Reese. Hey, they look good, right?
Yeah.
They have promise. But you know what? Who's going to bring them to? Who's going to bring this stuff to fruition? And I know
Mhm.
the offensive guys too, but you need offense to win in the NFL today. No doubt about it. I mean, so whatever, Muji's got to work his magic here. And I think that's what if he can find a trade partner and this guy seems slick. I mean, somebody has to want to come up there. That's the whole deal.
Right.
And he has to get value for it. Don't just give it away I don't think he's not going to do it for the sake of just trading the pick because he's proven that already. He's not going to be hoodwinked. So that's what I believe that's got to happen. I just, Glenn, and also if Glenn wants to stay, he has to win. You're not going to win without offense. You're not going to, defense is not what it used to be. It has to be like Belichick played it.
Mhm.
Nobody's set to one specific scheme. Those days are gone. They're gone, and they're just gone. So you have to be able to know the X's and O's. And unfortunately, Glenn has already said he's not an X's and O's guy. So I don't know what's going to happen. But
Right.
you need offense, Paul. And I know you guys are set on drafting these Reese or Bailey or Bain or whatever, But we need offense too. So however they got to do it, Paul, I just want to win. I'm
Me
tired
too.
of losing. I'm tired
Yeah.
of losing, Paul.
Yeah.
Basically that's it. I could care less about the individuals. I just want the team to win.
Yeah.
That's the way I always see things. I just want to win. So
Mhm.
get us guys that want to win. Get us guys that want to play. Get us guys that don't complain. Get us guys that are disciplined. That's the whole deal here.
Mhm.
But we need offense, okay? So
Yeah.
I know that's probably a minority opinion.
I
Is
don't
everybody
think
so-
so, Dave. Maybe that's what everyone's saying, but like I'll tell you, I know me and Hep off the top rope are two guys that want offense, score, and you as well. Obviously, score points. Let's score. If we're going to go down, let's go down swinging, scoring points, getting some
Right.
touchdowns, getting having offense. I'm with you.
It's been 7 years since Gase was there, and at least he scored the first touchdown. I mean,
Yeah.
after that he
Yeah, right.
stunk.
That's true. Those first drives were clutch,
Yeah.
but everything
Yeah.
else, not so much.
You're not winning without offense. It's not going to happen. So I mean, we're depending. You're depending on coaching these guys up. They're being drafted. So
Mhm.
coach up some offense. So I just want to bring that forward. So it may be a minority opinion, but see what it is. And listen, fellas, I appreciate all your votes today. So God bless you all. And we keep pray for Paul's brother. How do you spell his name? How do you spell Brody?
Yeah, Brody is Brody.
Brody. Okay, Paul. God bless you, brother.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Yeah, let's get our votes cooking for one Dave Brigger, One Punch Brigger. He's our guy. So we love him and we're taking care of him. But I will say, perhaps because everyone is so sort of reserved to the fact that, we are going defense number 2 overall. But now, I mean, if we could go offense, please score points. I had a rant about this with Judy Batista. I'm not sure if it made it in the clip that was posted today, but, outside of 2015, where the Jets had Ryan Fitzpatrick, who threw the second most passing yards of all time, who had the touchdowns, 31 touchdown passes, most we've ever had. Brandon Marshall, 1,500 yards, best receiving season we've ever seen. Eric Decker, 1,000 yards. Chris Ivory, 1,000 yards. Like, that was one of the greatest offensive seasons we've had in a long time. But the rest of it has been a lot of clop, okay, in 14 of the last 15 years. I mean, it has been garbage. So, give me offense, man. If that's how I'm going to die, if they're like, hey, you're dying either way, then give me points. Give me liberty or give me death. Give me points. Give me touchdowns. That's what I want. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here on the program. It's Badshaw. Oh, look at the shirt. Look at him already rocking the shirt. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. I'm repping it, baby. So I heard you saying earlier, you were talking about we've had some pretty big names on the show. And you left one out. One of my personal favorites.
Ooh, who's that? Oh, Bob Lederer, of course. Oh, Jericho Cotchery, right? Yeah.
No, Jericho Cotchery. I'm like, yeah. So when are we getting Jericho back on? That's what I want to know.
I loved having him on last year for the draft. Was super cool. I gotta double check.
That's what I was thinking. I thought last year he came on.
Yeah, he did. It was last year. Last year he came on. We did a draft show. I reached out to. So once I decided I was doing like a live draft show for like a bunch of hours, I said, it would be super cool to get someone to tell their draft day story and answer all kinds of questions live on the show. And again, the fact that I have Jericho Cotchery's number, like that, like is sort of like I have to pinch myself. Like what? If I would have told that to little 10-year-old Paul, he'd be losing his blank right now. So that's the coolest thing of all time. So we connected a couple of years ago. And so, yes, I'd love to get him back. That is one of my favorite interviews. He's one of my favorite Jets of all time. 100%. We got to get him back on. He was most recently last year, or it just ended last year. It was one of the two, where he got into college football coaching, and he was coaching at Limestone University, which was super amazing. And unfortunately, the school ran out of money and their football program folded. So Jericho and a lot of coaches lost their jobs. Yeah. So I don't want to speak for Jericho. I don't think he was doing it for the money. I think he was doing it for the love of the game and everything else. But I have no idea what he's doing currently. But yes, no, definitely. I would love to reconnect with Jericho, get him back on the show as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, I was thinking last year. We had him on around draft time, and I knew there was one time he had put in his 2 cents on Garrett Wilson, and I definitely enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was last year. So I've had him on 2 or 3 times on this show. The first one I really enjoyed because I got to show him clips. I had that all set up. I showed him clips of the game. It was Browns Jets, and he pulled his groin in the middle of a play, and he's limping, and then he just one hands it in the middle of the play
That's
when
my favorite
Sanchez
play.
he's just like and then you say to yourself, was he like faking it and like try to fool the defense and then just did it? But he said no, I heard a pop as I was running my route, and then Sanchez just threw it, and he's like, I'm not giving up the play, and he just Superman catch. You're like, what in the world? He's had playoff moments obviously in the Jets Patriots game, so like, oh my god, that's one of my favorites. But that one was cool because I got to put plays at Badshaw. I guess we lost Badshaw signal. We'll get him on back in a second, but that was cool. I've had Garrett Wilson on the show a long time ago. It was not his rookie year. It was his second year in the league. He joined the show, which again, I'm very blessed when we could get players on the show. And I walked him through his crazy bobbling Buffalo touchdown catch. That was awesome too. Okay. I think we have Badshaw back. Badshaw?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep. We got you now. Sorry. We lost you in a tunnel or something.
Okay. For some reason, I'm thinking I'm delayed or something when I'm speaking. It seems like I'm saying stuff and it's taking a minute. So if that's the case, I'll get off here.
No, that's okay. What's on your mind?
Well, so the only other thing I was going to say was, which I was like, I definitely did not know that about the whole Limestone University and funding and all that stuff. I definitely knew he was coaching and whatnot, but yeah, I would definitely love to have him on. Hell, another guy I'd love to have on is Sean Ellis. If you could ever make that happen, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I love Sean Ellis. I know he kind of went to New England on us, but he was always he was just always around, I think was the reason I liked him so much. It was like, you always knew he was there until he was with New England. And then I had a lot of issues after that, but anyway.
Yeah, on Sean Ellis, so I have, I hope we all, and maybe some current fans, hopefully if you don't know who that is, shame on you and hit that with a Google search, kids. But I love Sean Ellis, and I hadn't heard from him in a long time, to be honest. And then Rich, he has like 3 videos on his YouTube channel, so he doesn't do that a lot. But he did it would have had to have been last year, the 25-year anniversary of the 2000 NFL draft. He did a podcast. We got all 4 of them on together. Sean Ellis, John Abraham, Chad Pennington, and Anthony Beck to like talk about the insaneness of 4 first-round picks, the most ever. And the insaneness they all had careers that were, some could go to the Hall of Fame one day, some are just Ring of Honor guys, some are whatever, or had long careers in the NFL. Like, what an outstanding thing. And Sean was on with his other teammates. That's the first I've heard from Sean in a long time, so he must just keep to himself or something. But I would love to, and Jericho the same way, right? In a different way, I guess. Like, he doesn't seek attention, so but he was willing to do the interview. I would love to have Sean Ellis on. I'd ask him from the snowball stuff in 2008. That season unfortunately ended horrifically, but in Seattle, we grabbed the snowball and chucked it at a fan. Like, that was hilarious. I don't know if he finds that hilarious, but hopefully we could talk about everything from the Brett Favre seasons to the playoff seasons to, oh my God, he would have so many stories to tell, I would think.
Oh yeah, I think that would definitely be a good one. And I want to say prayers for your brother. And how did you say you spell his name? Is it Brody?
That is right. Yep, Brody is Brody.
Well, I don't have an actual full-blooded brother, but I do have a stepbrother. I have a couple stepbrothers, but I have a memory. Maybe it'll cheer you up a little bit about me and my stepbrother.
Yeah.
So I've got my stepbrother. He's a couple years younger than me. He lived about 30 minutes away from me, so he knew hardly anybody in our town. I got him to come out with me one night with my buddy, who his family's very wealthy. And long story short, he got this brand new truck, and we were pumped to go ride in it. And anyway, we get in this truck, and we're heading to my buddy's house to get something. And I'm texting on my phone. I'm in the passenger seat. And I look over, and there's this deer running alongside the truck with us. Well, we do not hit the deer. The deer hits us, like runs into the side of my buddy's truck. And like there's this big ditch right next to us where we hit him and he like goes flying into this ditch and we're like, oh shit. So we pull over and we're right down the road from my buddy's house. Well, we pull over and I've got this like flip phone. I'm trying to take a picture of this deer that's laying what I think to be dead in this ditch. Well, I take the picture and it flashes and the deer like blinks its eyes and gets up and is running around and it's got one hurt leg and it was like a little young buck. And so we're outside yelling. Of course, when he starts blinking his eyes and like stumbling around, we're like, hey! Well, my buddy has 2 dogs down the road and they hear me and him scream. So they're coming to protect us. So my buddy's got 2 dogs. He's got this old boxer named Duke, and he's got this like a border collie / golden retriever dog. And they call it Saluki because my buddy's brother played with Brandon Jacobs in Southern Illinois. So he's like, they named him after this mascot. So he's the younger dog. Well, he shows up and he starts trying to fight this buck for us, like in our honor. And meanwhile, we're just sitting in somebody's yard while all this is going on. My buddy's dog is fighting this buck in the middle of the yard, and we're sitting there trying to film it. Well, then it's kicking my buddy's dog's ass. Like he's kicking his ass. Well, then finally Duke, the old dog, he was this old boxer. He shows up and he just proceeds to National Geographic this freaking deer. I mean, ripping him to shreds, ripping his guts out and all this. And there's like this little girl, you know, that lives at this house is like looking out her window while this dog's getting like disemboweled in front of us. And so, long story short, before I got married, we're sitting in my buddy's truck, me, my stepbrother, and him. And I'm like, y'all remember what happened the last time we were in a vehicle together, right? And they're like, the fucking deer, like holy shit. So we always had this, it's like I feel like people bond over trauma, and that was definitely a traumatic experience for us. But anyway, I'll get off here, Paul. Definitely praying for your brother. Keep us posted and whatnot, bud. But I thought that might cheer you up today.
Thank you. It did. Oh my God! What the flying hoot? Jesus! On that story, that was what in the world? That was wow. Yeah, well, that certainly gave me a lot of emotions, John. Thank you for that story. Oh my God! Well, here's something else that gives me a lot of emotions. Oh my goodness! Oh, I'm tearing up, man. That is oh, that's amazing news. We have a super chat coming in. This is from the Langleys at NYJets2824. They've got beautiful news to share.
Wow.
The Langleys are having twin boys in October of 2026. Let's freaking go. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you, Joshua and Cecilia. Oh my friggin' God, that is that brings a smile to my face. Let's go.
Kevin James. I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, we are gifting 5 memberships in honor of the Langleys here and their family growing. Oh my God. I wish I could hug you guys right now through the camera. That is, oh my God, that's amazing. Congratulations, you guys. That is so cool. All right. So, wow. So, man, this tailgate, Cecilia, you're really going to have to be, riding the line here for the tailgate, huh? I'm just kidding. That's yeah, we're going to see you guys next year, but please keep us posted. Congratulations. That is beautiful news. I'm so happy for you guys. That's amazing. It was such everything to meet you last year. Pleasure, honor. amazing to meet Cecilia and Joshua last year at our tailgate. That is beautiful news. Congratulations. That's amazing. And thank you for sending prayers for Brody as well. I appreciate that. But man, for you, oh my goodness, I'm going to be smiling the rest of the day because of that. That is amazing. Congratulations, guys, the Langleys. We have a growing family, so amazing. That's awesome for Joshua and Cecilia. So beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Langleys, here on the show. Here we go. Like I said, we have to gift memberships for that, for the kiddos, for the kids. Boy Green is doing it, baby. I'm gifted 5 memberships out there to the universe. Let's freaking go. Hell yeah. All right. Shout out to the Langleys, baby. All right. 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. We've got Snap Judgments. We got 3 Sibs. We've got Acioli, Bleed for Green, and Zach Tenler. You guys are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Had to gift it in honor of the Langleys with beautiful news. Twin boys are coming. Hey now. Let's go. Beautiful. Twins, too. Oh, my goodness. How special. How special. God, like I said, I wish I could hug you guys right now. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Well, now we'll each have 2 kids. We'll get to show them off to each other now and do play dates and all that stuff. We'll figure it out. Beautiful. All right, let's go back to the phone line. We have 300 people in the room right now, including 100 of those 300 watching on YouTube right now. We appreciate it. Make sure you guys like that video. That is the free way to contribute to the show and gets this Jet show in front of other Jet fans out in the audience. We're 11 likes away from 100 likes here on the channel if you're watching live here on the program. And like I said, hit that subscribe button. We are a handful of subscribers away from 8,550. And we are, 54 away from 8,600 as we continue our climb to 10,000 subscribers. So let's keep the train rolling. Let's go back to the phone lines. Up next, Johnny Boy.
BG, good morning,
What's
man.
up, brother?
Hey, man, just want to real quick, big prayers out to the Broadster, to the guy that wants every single pick to go to the New Orleans Saints. That was my first introduction to your brother, and I'll never forget that on how funny that was.
Yeah.
Because you kept egging it on. You were like, let me guess, New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, for those who missed it,
yeah.
For those who missed it, my brother Brody called into the show, and it must have been on a Jets Worldwide day, and so he calls into the show, and my brother at one random point says, "Hey, like let's sort of link up free agents or something," and I'm like, "All right, yeah, let's go." I thought it was just a genuine segment of like, where do you think this it had to be before free agency, I guess. And he's like, "Oh, where do you think like Derek Carr is going to go?" I'm like, "Oh, all right." Or where do you think the Alec Pierce is going to go? And then at first, like, New Orleans, Saints, and he's a diehard Saints fan. That's probably a New Orleans pick right there. Saints. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. And that was hilarious. And he gets such a kick. I've been very blessed to I've had a sports talk radio career, and I still go there now for all the Mets games, but to do sports talk radio where I've had my brother Brody in studio to do a show before. That's some of the coolest moments of my life. I had him at my college radio station. We all did a show together at WNYO 88.9 FM with me, my dad, Brody, all doing radio shows. So he just loves sports, man. He gets a great kick out of it. He loves football just like I do, buying the magazines and looking at the players and the trading cards and all that kind of stuff. So, oh yeah, man, that's cool. So I'm very blessed that in the StreamYard world, you guys have been able to be introduced to my brother. There's one other brother you guys haven't met yet. We'll see if he ever calls into one of these shows. That'll be an experience and a half. He has a very different personality than Brody, but yeah, that was super cool. So I'm glad we got to share that together, Johnny Boy. That was awesome.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And I just remember he started throwing stats at us, right? And you and I both are like, what? Like, dude, we have no idea who that is. Wait, what? You don't know that this stat is from, like, I don't know. I'm just going to throw a random name.
Yeah.
Denzel Mims?
Yeah.
he would be a good Saint. And I was just like, dude, I have no idea what.
Yeah,
it was awesome. It was an awesome moment, man. Big shout out to the Broadster, right, and to you and your family too, man. So prayers up. When your pops put that up, definitely. So everybody, if you guys get a chance, man, just real quick prayer. It means a lot, man. Prayers do wonders. So,
yeah. Like I said, I was going to say, like I said, I did not say, but I was driving around yesterday when I got the call from my pop, and that definitely stops you in your tracks. You always, I don't want to speak for other people. For me, I do a million jobs. I've actually just picked up a few more jobs this week. So there's going to be an announcement later this week of more jobs. And it's not taken away from any of my current jobs, just more jobs added to the pile. So like I'm busier than ever, which blessed be he. That's good news. And you're always running a million miles an hour. Yesterday I had to squeeze a lot of stuff, get this new phone for the draft and all this other stuff. And I just get a call, and it just things that stop you in your tracks and just make you just breathe and go, wow, what's really important in life? Those sort of things hit you in the chops every once in a while. So it definitely stopped me in my tracks yesterday. All your guys' prayers are amazing. I see the super chats coming through. I see the memberships coming through. I see the people sending their well wishes. And again, it all means a lot. So I appreciate everyone that has had anything to share about it or will in the comment section if they're watching this video after the fact. It's very meaningful. So my family has appreciated it and will continue to appreciate all the prayers. So thank you.
Oh yeah, man! Shout out to your moms and to your pops too, man. So I can only imagine. So, but hey, I wanted to come up here try to transition into some Jets talk.
Yeah, please.
So I sent you over that video last night. I have to say, man, I was pretty impressed on how fast Ty Simpson was picking up on all the crap that Gruden was throwing at him. Mm-hmm. It was impressive, man. Like, it was in real time. Dude is just like Silva, and then left is for the West Coast, and then New York is gonna be for the right side. And the kid was doing it because dude, he started throwing him like different schemes at defense, and he was audible and bro, like out of them into the correct stuff and what he just taught him. And I was like, I don't know, man. He has it up here, dude.
For sure.
So which I think that's like the biggest thing in the NFL is if you're able to have that. And dude, kind of Gruden was like, man, I wish I could coach you. And I was like, oh, is this guy trying to say something? But anyways, I still don't want him at 16. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be cool within the later rounds. Get the blue chippers first, and then get that. But I don't know if you have some time to watch that, and if you probably not. But
yeah, I have not seen it all yet. I want to. A few people texted me and said, "Oh, dude, you got to see this," and especially with your interview you did with the coach, and really get into it. So. From what you described, that does not surprise me. This guy has the mental game. He's a son of a coach. I imagine, we don't know what happens in the private meetings outside of whatever people leak. Like that, I heard that Ty Simpson impressed the Jets and obviously impressed Gruden. He's like, yeah, this guy can just talk football dirty to me. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm sure that's how he walks out of a lot of meetings. And if you're a team trying to make a decision and you fall in love with a kid like that, I imagine it's easy to start saying, talk yourself into it like, and we'll see. To me, I think someone brought it up earlier, whether it was Kyle Clifton or somebody else, about if he's at 33, let's really have a conversation and just sort of draw your line in the sand. Say, I wouldn't take him earlier, but if he's there, let's talk about it. Like, we're not going to give up assets to move up. I'm just saying in this potential scenario I'm talking about, you just draw a line in the sand in your own mind, do your draft, do whatever you're going to do, and then all of a sudden you're on 33 and you're like, holy shit, Ty Simpson's here. Man, we did really love that kid in that meeting. Do we do it? And if we don't do it, I think it behooves the Jets to trade that pick to someone else who will maximize the pick. Don't just take a random wide receiver or something. Maybe you do, But like, is Cleveland crazy for him? Is Arizona crazy for him? So either I think you have to take him, or you traded someone who will take them, maximize the pick, and bend them over the barrel and make them pay a quarterback tax to go get him. So that would be an absolutely fascinating conversation if he's there at 33.
Yeah, 100%. I was impressed by it, and look, at the end of the day, dude, whatever the Jets do, they just got to get it right, man. They need to get these players that they have and get it right. And the fact that we're going to be there, I'm pretty sure that whoever they end up getting, they're going to be players that we're going to be super close with, because this is my first draft ever going to.
Me too. I've never been. So, this is going to be we're going to pop our cherries here. I've never been to a draft.
And BG, one of the things that impressed me on there was when Gruden pointed out that he's like, dude, why didn't you just take the easier shots? You had people down in the flats, you had people in your checks, you had people that were right in front of you, but you always wanted to throw it down and everything. He's like, dude, if you start to really unleash that in the NFL, you're going to be really good. Really, really good, really quickly. And at the end, he made sure when they were doing those live drills that he was doing the stuff that was given to him that was super easy, which I was like, damn, yeah, he picked up that quick. So I don't know. It's an intriguing conversation with Ty Simpson if he is at 33 there, but do they go that way? I mean, shit. I don't know. I just hope they get it right at the end of the day, man. So I'm still a Drew Allard guy later on, but we'll see. Okay. BG, prayers up to you, brother, man, and to your whole family and everything, man. Keep your head up as much as you can. You got this, and we appreciate you even coming on here, man, to do the show. That's another thing too, man. You got some balls of steel to be on here and all that. So appreciate you doing that, man. That means a lot. So. And to the whole community out there, man, prayers up for BG and his fam. To the Broadster, to the New Orleans Saints #1 fan. Every single draft pick this year needs to be a Saint. That's pretty much what your brother would say. So
that's it. I appreciate that. Thank you, Johnny boy. Thank you. Yes, he does believe everyone should be. And that was NY Jets fandom. Thank you. I have the attention span of a goldfish, NY Jets fandom. I totally forgot who was saying what, but thank you, NY Jets fandom. My brain is very small, and a lot of things are coming in and out of it at all times. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. That is the pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25 here on the program. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe as we continue to grow. Ricky New York Live is up next here on the show.
Hey, how you doing, Paul?
I'm doing well. Ricky, it's good to see you, pal.
You see what happens? We give your brother a couple of great middle linebackers back to back, DeMario and Vilma, and now he wants the Saints to get all the players.
Yeah, I know. How does that all work? I mean, seriously, I'm still not even over Jonathan. I've got a Jonathan Vilma fathead down that hallway that I still look at every once in a while, and then DeMario, those 8 years, and the fact that not only in love, they say sometimes you were in love when you're young, and then you let him go, and you're like, we let someone go twice. We in love left, twice, once. Okay, that sucks, but twice, 2 times, you let it happen, Jesus. So it's cool that he's back. That's pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, and when Vilma left, I mean, it's because we were changing schemes, and so that kind of made sense. But dude, for a while, I mean, it's like James Ferrier. We let him go. He goes on to have incredible career in Pittsburgh.
Of course. Yeah, that's right.
DeMario, we let go. And by the way, Ferrier, we let him go. He goes and wins a Super Bowl. Vilma, same thing. I mean, for a while, I was like, my God, are we ever going to, keep a middle linebacker? That's one of the reasons I was so ecstatic when we actually signed CJ Mosley. I was like, finally, we're bringing in a great linebacker instead of watching them leave.
Right. That's refreshing.
But I have a question for you. This is kind of I'll warn you, this is kind of a loaded question.
Loaded question. All right, here we go.
But everybody's always, let's trade up, let's trade back. What team do you want to trade with?
For what? Trading up or trading down?
Let's for this argument, let's say trading down. And since the topic today was that 33rd pick, let's just say we're going to try to move back from 33 and acquire more assets. What team would you want to trade with?
Cleveland at 39. That's who I'd want to trade with.
Okay, you know what? And that's a good answer. Like, I started asking people because everyone's like trade, and so I started asking people, what team do you want to trade with? Well, I don't know. Yeah, like, and it's like, but I can tell you, can. The teams that there's a half a dozen teams that I would be interested in trading with in a couple of different scenarios. Both of the Ohio teams, Cincy and Cleveland, just because of where their picks fall. Both of the Pennsylvania teams, Eagles and the Steelers. Houston. But my very favorite trade partner is Chicago. Chicago has 57 and 60. So you can move back from 33 and you know what? That's just something that I came across when I was doing a mock one day. Like, because usually the way that I do that, like, this is the first year I ever did trades in a mock at all. Like, usually I just stick and pick. I'm like, trades aren't that likely. I'm just going to stick and pick. But like this year, I decided if I get a good offer, I'll take it. But like, I'm not proposing anything. But if the offer comes in, I'll take it.
So here's the trade value chart. So I just did the math real quick. You tell me if you would do this. So for Chicago to move up to 33, so there's two scenarios. One, they give up 57 and 60 straight up and they take 33. Now the Jets would be winning that trade slightly if they did that. But sometimes when you trade up, you have to win slightly. So maybe that's it. If it's going to be equal value, the Jets would have to flip back their late fourth rounder, which is 140th overall. That would then make it an equal trade. So it would be 33 and 140 for 57 and 60. Would you do either of those moves?
You know what? If it was straight up, I would probably do it. Like, I kind of want to hang on to that 140, but
me too.
I think what I did in my instance is I took 57 and 60 and I sent them 33 and a 2027 6. Which we have 3 of. We've got one from KC, one from Philly, one from San Francisco. So that's how I kind of like offset that.
Okay.
But yeah, and which, you know, say they didn't want to do that. They also have 89, so you could go 57, 89 and still. And the reason I brought it up is because I had Dylan Terman on last Saturday, and
you had him on what, Ricky?
On Ricky New York Live.
Okay.
All you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. But we were talking about that, and I was kind of telling him, like, you know, who some of my favorite trade partners were as far as trying to move back. But we started discussing, and it was like, I can't remember what the other position was, but I know one for sure was tight end that we were talking about. And I was like, you know what? I really, really like Max Clare from Ohio State. I really like Justin Jolie. I was like, but like the tight ends I really like are probably going to fall in that like 65 to 85 range where we have no picks. So like the only, you know, aside from Kenyon Sadiq, if you want one of those other top tight ends,
Yeah.
like it would require a trade back because we just don't have any picks in the range where those guys are going to go.
Well, that one you just suggested, here's another possibility. If Chicago package 57, which is their first second rounder, and 89 their third rounder, that would be equal value for 44, believe it or not. So that would be, so you may have to flip, I guess, a little something to your point. Maybe you dip into 2027 late and it's a 6 or something to sort of equal it out. But again, teams trading up normally gives up a little more. So maybe 57, 89, 44, and some loose change. That's another possibility. So there's some intriguing things here. I haven't really thought about Chicago, but
yeah, and you know what? Like I said, if that trade offer hadn't come through, I probably wouldn't have, thought about them right away. I know in one of the later rounds, I know San Francisco's got like back-to-back picks. I see that going in the mock. I forget what number they are. They are
138, 139.
Yeah,
That's
138, 139.
Yeah.
Which we've already got 140. But
right.
But yeah, looking at like, if we were going to move back from 33, like I said, Philly has got, let me see, they've got, what is that? Oh, I wrote this so damn small.
Oh, I have it. They have 54 in the second round. They have 68 in the third round. That's our Hassan Reddick pick. Thank you. 98 in the third round as well. Yep.
Yeah, 54, 68,
98
as well. And Pittsburgh also has 76, 85, 39, 99. Like they've got a nice selection of picks right in that area too.
Eagles have 2 3s and 2 4s, so on top of their second. So they have 54 in the second, but in the third they have 68, which again was our pick that they got for Hassan Reddick. They have 98. In the fourth round they have an early-ish third round. It's sort of mid, 114, but they also have 137. So yeah, they've got a couple of they have some ammo to play with.
Yeah, so you know what, I just figured I would ask because after that one trade came in, it made me think. I was like, you know what? Who else has got a nice group of picks right in that range where we would want to move back to? And so, like I said, I identified the 2 Ohio teams, the 2 Pennsylvania teams, Chicago and Houston as the 6 that have got a nice, group of picks right in that range where we could want to move back to. So we always say it takes 2 to trade. So you know what? If we're going to talk about who we would take and everything else, why not talk about who we're going to trade with?
I like that. It also takes 2 to podcast. So some Ricky New York Live, Dylan Terraman action. You guys can rewatch that podcast, Ricky New York Live. Phenomenal. Great work there, Ricky. Great get.
Yes, absolutely. And we have a good time. And he's, he's a draft guy. And so
sure.
we, leading up to it, I kind of went, I asked him to give me some of his favorite day 3 guys. And I picked 3, he picked 3. Well, the 3 that he gave me, one of them was a player that I hadn't watched at all yet. So before I had him on, I went ahead and started watching some film on this kid, and he was really good. And Zane Durant, defensive tackle. But, and likewise, he was like, man, the corner you were talking about, I haven't got to watch him yet, but after listening to you talk about him, now I want to go watch it. And it was the same thing for both of us. Like, he turned me on to players that I hadn't gotten to yet. I turned him on.
That's so cool. I love that.
But man, it's tough. And shout out to Dom C, everybody else that puts in all the work on the draft. I think Dom did over 300 players or something.
Wow.
And most of those draft guys are like that, it's
for sure. Definitely
300, 350. I was like, you know what? I'll be lucky if I'm scraping around at 180. And the number's probably not going to get any higher. Like between my normal job, I just don't have time. If I had time, believe me, you know what? I would break down every prospect and their next door neighbor, but I don't have the time.
Yeah, I respect the fact that you could do it. I'm sure all your subscribers do too. So we appreciate the work that you put in, pal.
I try. Everybody's got an opinion. I always say, if you're going to have an opinion, just make it an educated one. Like, do your research, know your facts.
100%. Well,
right.
Ricky, thank you, brother. I love every time we get a chance to call in. We're only 9 days away. We're closing in, pal.
All right, definitely. And yeah, it can't get here. It can't get here soon enough.
It's going to be
but
amazing.
Have a great day, Paul.
There he is. Ricky, New York Live, joining us here on the show. A couple of comments. We'll get back to the phone lines. I see Mark Sacchetti says, thank you for the Jets chatter. Off to run errands, BG, sending positivity to you and your family. For Brody, thank you. I see Jerome in here on the chat. God bless you and your family, brother. Prayers in abundance. Thank you. I appreciate everyone that's sent in kind words today. Very cherished, very appreciated. Thank you. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the phone lines. Thunder Beast is here on the show.
Buenos días, el Boricrín. ¿Cómo está, amigo?
Yeah, sí, así. ¿Cómo estás to you, my friend?
Another crappy day in paradise.
Yeah,
crappy weather we're having today. Nothing new.
Where do you live at, Beast?
Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. Wow. Okay.
Try to get a windy city where it's constantly raining, shootings everywhere. But who cares about that? It's like saying, all right, Stafford, thank you. But can the draft get here any sooner than we think? Because I know our heads are just going. Don't you ever get those headaches like that?
I do. They're very painful. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's where you call for acetaminophen, ibuprofen, and some other strange pills. But I just have
Tylenol here. I got some Tylenol. There you go.
Oh yeah, the fun never ends, does it?
Yeah, there you go.
Ruby's right. We need to go out and get Jeremiah Love. The kid is a killing machine, and he's not just your ordinary killing machine. You know, Mick once said. He said these words: "This kid is a wrecking machine. He's a contender. Put him on there. Get him on there.
Yeah,
get him.
Get him the money." Are you ready for WrestleMania this week?
No, I'm not going to be watching. I just watched AEW's pay-per-view. I was very disappointed in it. Very disappointed.
All right.
It was bad. From opening to mid, all the way to the end, it was like boring.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say, let me go to bed. I fell asleep halfway through the pay-per-view because it was so badly mismanaged. But can we get some guys? There are plenty of guys out there. Can we just get off our dead asses and just go get the talent? It's not this hard. George Carlin said this a long time ago, and he said it best the right way. You get up, you go to work, you eat your good meals, you take one good shit, go back to bed. Guys, what's the fucking mystery? What's the mystery? There's no mystery. Get the talent. What part of wake up, smell the roses, get a cup of coffee, get off your dead ass and do something about it? What part of that don't you see? Hello? Hello? Say do with the program.
So you're a Jeremiah Love guy. So Luby converted you.
Yes. And he's right. We need guys with balls. I'm sick and tired of getting these soy boy loser like nothing happening but your cheapskates that don't look like they have the testicles enough to grow a pair because they're soggy. That's why I say send them back. And you know why I send them back? Because they're not up to par. You get some guys. Get some guys like this. This is what we need. Guys with muscles. Man.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's Brutus Beefcake right there. Okay, sure. Okay.
Well, Brutus Beefcake, I like the guy. I can't take nothing away from his credit or his capability, but I'm just saying, get some guys with some muscles and actually hit these teams, into the freaking mouth and punch them a couple times. It's not hard. I mean, come on. I remember when Rocky had his first match with Spider Rico. Yeah, and remember what Mick once said? Who'd you fight? Did you win? And who'd you fight? Spider Rico. He's a bum. Yeah, you say everyone I fight is a bum. Yeah, that's correct. Because you ain't got the heart, kid. You know what you fight like, and you sound like you look like a tomato. Come on, I'm not running a soup kitchen. You want to be a fighter? Come on now. Hey, come on. I've watched Rocky how many times? Hundreds of times. I got the whole series. I got 1 through 6. But I'll still say this: the best ones are
Which
Rocky
one's the best
2 and
one?
3.
Okay.
Hey, first one,
3.
Rocky 2. I like Rocky 2 for one reason. I like when Apollo was beating his ass, going, hey, get your cameras ready. Hey, get your cameras ready. He's going down. Watch this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. And what Apollo tell him? He gonna knock his ass up. But who won in the end? Who won in the end? Rocky Balboa. Rocky is a man, and he was tough, and he still did it. He still beat the shit out of Apollo, but it was a good fight. It was a good contest. There was blood. Sure, 15 rounds. Do we have 15 rounds in boxing anymore? One word: no.
No, I don't believe so.
Nowadays, everything's been minimalized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean
12
by
rounds.
minimalized? Yeah, down to 10.
Oh, 10 rounds now, is it? Oh, okay.
Everything changes for a reason. That's life. We all got to go through change. But
what's the worst Rocky?
I've seen the first Rocky.
What's the worst Rocky?
The worst? I say 5 was okay, but they could have did a little better on the music.
Okay.
A little bit better, but it's just a little,
All right.
You know what I mean by
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, CSC. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too good. It needs a little touch up. Like,
Did you appreciate the Apollo series?
Lately I haven't gotten into this new technology. It's just it's hard to keep up with nowadays because everything is gone crazy these days. I don't go to theaters like I used to because if you look at everything nowadays, yeah, like I could spit $50 out of my ass. Nice try, buddy. I don't shit gold bricks. If we were millionaires, that's one thing. But here's the difference. You got rich people that are very, highly sophisticated. Ha, 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 ha. And then you got the working class like us that are busting ass, breaking bones, sweating, and putting in the hard work. That's called hard work and sweat. So that there's differences. There's rich, and then there's poor. It's like this, even Steven right here. If I had 2 balls right here, I'd have to balance them like this. Big difference there, ain't it?
Yeah. Right.
And knowing me, I'll say it with no shame. Go get the guys. You got the money. Get off your dead ass. Spend it. Don't spend it on the 99-cent stores. Try something different. Example. People don't go to Kohl's. Okay, that's understandable. People go to the thrift store all the time. I go to the thrift store once in a while. You know why? I can find quality. See, today's quality don't understand that, you got to look at the difference. There's quality, and then there's shit. What do I want? Quality. Quality that lasts. If you look at today's quality, it just goes. I'll give you an example. TVs, refrigerators, DVDs, Blu-ray. We don't have VCRs anymore because VCRs are obsolete. You used to have a VCR, didn't you, Paul?
I did. I love VCRs. They were great.
Oh, hey, do you have a VCR DVD player, the combo?
I used to have that back in the day. Yeah, I don't have it anymore.
I have one of those bad boys.
Yeah, you still do?
I don't use it often, but let me just say this one more time. Go get your boys. I mean, come on. We could take $2 or $3 billion out and spend it on new talent. Is it this hard? No, it's not that hard. It's called quit crying. Get your pants, get your big boy pants on in your boots. Spend the damn money. Don't waste my time. Just do your part like everybody else. Shut up, spend wisely, and if you haven't, and whatever money's left, put it back. Put it back. That's all. Just put it back. That's not hard. That is not hard. It's simple ass shit that we should be learning. It's like going to the bank when you're withdrawing and when you're putting back money. Very easy. Come on, people. We do it all the time. It's called put the money back when you're done. That's all. Nothing else to ask. This is not hard, people. This is simple shit. It's like when you put a down payment on a house or a down payment on an apartment or a new car. This is not hard. This is simple. Easy shit. Come on. First graders would even tell you. Sixth graders would even tell you. Even eighth graders would tell you. Spend the money wisely. That's all.
Good
Nothing
advice.
else.
Good advice, Mr. Beast. Thank you. Wow. Okay, spend the money wisely. Well, Rocky movies. We got into a lot of stuff there, Beast. So feel free. I love you calling into the show. Been a new addition to the rotation. It's been great. So thank you, Beast, for joining us. I love your passion. It's infectious. I love your passion, pal. Well, I love the passion of everybody here on the program. Thank you, guys, for joining me. This was a sometimes these are difficult shows to do, so I appreciate you guys being here with me, and thank you. Again, let's give some shout outs to everybody that gifted on the show. Austrian Jet Fan, Jared B., our moderator, Fastest Food Reviews, aka Chef Kevin Gilbert, Kyle Clifton, EZ, John LG, Cole Young with a 5-pack. I guess congratulations to myself for gifting 5, although I didn't have that on the bingo card. And then the most important of all, the Langleys are having twin boys in October of 2026. That is beautiful. Great. So we'll have to have you like on when we do the restaurant takeover. We'll have to like do a FaceTime call with you guys or something, so we can talk to you from the restaurant or something. So you'll be with us in spirit, because if you guys try to power through, you could have the baby at the tailgate. So I don't know if the timing's going to work out on that one, but in all seriousness, we're thinking about you, the Langleys. So beautiful news for Joshua and Cecilia. It was a pleasure to meet you guys last year. So thank you for sharing that here on the show. So everybody, appreciate you. We'll be coming back on at 3:00. Boy Green meets Woody again for this episode. Excuse me. We're going to be talking about all the players the Jets have met with and who are the most intriguing. We'll have a top 5 list for you. Excuse me, later today at 3:00. I want to thank you guys for joining us here on the program. Appreciate you. And we'll be back on again at 3:00. And then, of course, tomorrow morning for another episode of Boy Green Daily. You guys are the best. God bless. Take care.